Hi, my beautiful tribe. This is Jules. I hope everybody is doing well. So, this video is about a question that I received a couple of weeks ago, and it has to do with twin flames. And I told this person, I don't know how I feel about it, or if I believe in twin flames. It's just something that I don't have firsthand experience on. So, I can't speak with conviction about it. But there are other things that I'm sure about this based on firsthand experience. And it's not a belief, but a knowing. See, I was born and raised a Catholic. And even though in Catholicism, they don't speak about reincarnation, karma, soul contracts, past lives, um, alchemical unions, predestined loves, I had experiences throughout my life that made me question those beliefs. But this video is not about me, but about the subject at hand. And that's what I want to talk about. So, to begin, I want to speak about the sensitivity of the subject. I know there are many religions that do not believe in reincarnation per se. But reincarnation was part of the Bible at one point. It was part in the past. But it wasn't until Constantine the Great removed all evidence of reincarnation from the Bible. It wasn't convenient for the church. It wasn't convenient for humans to have a notion of a prolonged time to obtain salvation. It was easier to control the masses. Through fear, being burned at the stake, or even going to hell. Okay. Instead of admitting that we have life after life to awaken and to grow in consciousness and reach nirvana or heaven or enlightenment. Now, having said this, I would like to speak about a book. And I don't want to spoil it, but it is inevitable for me to speak about reincarnation and not speak about this book. This book is required to understand reincarnation or past lives. The name of the book is Many Lives, Many Masters by Dr. Brian Weiss. Dr. Brian Weiss is a graduate of Columbia University and Yale Medical School, and he is also a chairman of psychiatry at the Mount Sinai Medical Center in Miami, Florida. Dr. Brian Weiss had a very difficult time bringing to the public this book based on events and revelations that happened with and through one of his patients. He knew his credibility would be questioned after making this public. However, his life was changed, and his beliefs took a 180-degree turn. He couldn't help but make this story public about this patient. So, to be fair, and trying not to spoil the book, so one day he gets in his office a patient by the name of Catherine. And Catherine has many traumas that she needs to deal with. She has many limitations. So Dr. Weiss does what he has always done with many of his patients. He hypnotizes Catherine to bring her back to that one event or events in her childhood that made her so limited or wounded. or to have so many traumas at the present moment. Now, to his surprise, he realizes that Catherine is not only going back to her childhood, but she's also going back to previous lifetimes. She doesn't only go back to one life, but she goes to like many different lives. And in between the lives, like between the time that she died and the time that she was reborn again into a different life, like during that lapse of time, okay, during that lapse between one life and another, right? There is a group of masters, or that's how Dr. Brian Weiss calls them. The masters start revealing things. And some of the revelations is that life after life, we carry with us traumas from the past. We also carry wishes and desires. They say that if we have not had a chance to satisfy them in this current life, we will take them with us to the next life. On the same token, any experience that we have, any gifts, any knowledge, or any new wisdom that we have acquired in a previous life is something that we carry and take with us to upcoming or posterior lifetimes. So, this will explain things like Beethoven, that against all odds, he became a master in music. He came from a family with many limitations, financial limitations, physical limitations. If I'm not mistaken, his mother had tuberculosis, and his father also had other physical limitations. They had four children with physical limitations, and Beethoven was the fifth child that was far from being a gifted child. He started becoming deaf at the age of 26 and became completely deaf at the age of 44. His deafness was not a limitation to him, but he made some of the best compositions in musical history. How can we explain someone who is deaf can create the musical pieces and the quality of the music that he made unless he's bringing that gift and ability from a previous lifetime? His gifts and abilities allowed him to become a genius in his lifetime as Beethoven. Well, going back to the book, many lives, many masters. We we reincarnate in clusters of souls. That's why lifetime after lifetime, it makes sense that we come across the same soulmates over and over again. According to the book and the revelations from the masters through Catherine, if we had a debt from a previous lifetime with someone, sooner or later we will come across that soul because that karmic debt has to be repaid or balanced out. Perhaps we could have said to that soulmate in that lifetime, well, maybe in the next one, I'll be with you. Or maybe in this lifetime we couldn't come together, but in the next one we will. So, words are very powerful. And we have to become very conscious of the things that we say or the things that we speak about. Because this way we can generate new karmic debts. So, at the end of the book, and I don't want to spoil it anymore, I really want to invite you to read it because it's really worth it. At the end of the book, Catherine goes to see an astrologer, and this astrologer, who's famous for knowing and interpreting birth charts, including information from previous lifetimes. So, after Catherine sees the astrologer, she revisits Brian Weiss after having done all of the therapy and the hypnosis and all of those different sessions, different revelations, different healings, and everything that discovered through the exotic and mystical experiences together. I mean, it's fascinating. So, Catherine explains to Brian that she learned that, okay, mm, what the astrologer revealed to Catherine from her birth chart is something that was in a lot of alignment with the same revelations that came to Catherine by the masters about the hypnosis in the last lifetimes. Now, the astrologer is only mentioned towards the end of the book, but I find it very interesting because according to astrology, and this is something that I've been tapping into lately, just lately, so I don't have experience in this. According to astrology, when we study and analyze the birth chart, there is a mathematical point called the vertex. And according to the vertex, we we can look and determine what people are going to be showing up in our current lifetime, especially when they do something called synastry, in which two different birth charts are analyzed and see if your vertex is also in alignment with the vertex of the other person. The thing is that when a soulmate appears in our lifetimes, this person is meant to change the trajectory of our journey or the way that our life has been affected. It's like you had your own plans for this lifetime, and this person suddenly shows up and they change your life 180 degrees. Usually, a soulmate is not here to fulfill us. The soulmate is not here to redeem us or to make us happy. Those stories come from Hollywood or Disney. A soulmate is here to make us more conscious and help us grow. And if we become more conscious, we come even closer to that, to what our journey or our purpose or our dharma is in this lifetime. I speak about karma often in my videos because I want people to know and understand and become aware about karma and what it is. Karma is neither good or bad. And I really want people to overcome any belief that karma is bad. Okay, karma is a configuration. It is a way in which we arrive in this lifetime through this physical plane. That's why it is said that we choose our families and we choose the people that we want to reincarnate with in our lives. Because all of those people, one way or another, are going to help us grow and become conscious of that one thing that we are here to overcome. So let me explain. Let's say that you have to learn how to become more conscious about boundaries. So there will be that one person in your life that is going to be testing your boundaries. This is so you become aware that you need to respect your own boundaries and your own personal space. Or Let's say that I already came here to this lifetime with very, very limited beliefs. And I arrive in this family and they are reinforcing the same belief or even making those beliefs even more limited, or they may even generate new beliefs or reform the beliefs that I already have. So this will create or reinforce that configuration. That would be the karma. So if I don't become conscious and the people who are there to reinforce my karma, then I will continue to move through life on automatic pilot and living and accepting my life as is instead of taking ownership and really being the captain of my own ship. This is because that is the way that I was programmed, whether it was in this lifetime or a previous lifetime. So, according to astrology, there comes a point in our lives in which we kind of like revisit things about the past or people come back from the past. It could be through a Mercury retrograde or eclipses. And it could be a person that comes from the past, but not necessarily the past of this lifetime. Are you following me? Now, here is how I have become aware of people from my past lives. I have recognized a few, but I will loosely talk about two different people. One person, let's call him Mike, was not aware. Most soulmates will not be aware, and I didn't try to make him aware of his role in my life. I just knew, understood, and played along. He confessed to me once that he didn't understand that I was worse than any drug to him and that his thoughts and feelings were constantly attached to me. In other words, he felt me. He was unconsciously aware of my presence. He said that I was worse than any drug. It's like he was addicted to me. He didn't understand. He just knew, although he was unaware. Doesn't make sense. Uh, no, I didn't say anything to him because I would be fucking up with his mind. I just didn't say anything. I just said something like, I understand. I feel the same way. Now, the other person, let's call him George, is incredibly aware. He knows we have been reincarnated in previous or many lifetimes. So it was a mutual um, recognition between me and George. Now, both of these people are not romantic partners in my life, but they are very near and dear to my heart. I know them, I recognize them, and I acknowledge their part in my life at the current moment. Like I said, one of them, Mike, is unaware. He doesn't know, he doesn't understand. And he would probably laugh if I ever mentioned something like this to him. But the second person, George, is very conscious, has a lot of understanding, and is very aware of his role in my life. And I'm also conscious of my role in his life. So this is a mutual awareness that we both have. Like I said, there's no romantic connection between us. It's just an understanding and a profound appreciation for each other. Even though there is a magnetic attraction and a profound love for each other, We both understand not to romanticize our connection is not part of our purpose. It would be irrelevant. Okay. So our physical bodies are born and they will die. But energy can neither be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. So when we become aware of our energetic body is when we start becoming more free in our being. There are no attachments. There is no need for having the other person. There is no need to possess the other person. There is no need to label the other person as my boyfriend or my lover or my beloved. There is no need to have a place in each other's physical realms because it's not needed. Like, we don't need it. And like, really, like, you don't want it because uh, perhaps we don't want to have a physical place in the other person's life because we already have a place in each other's souls. So, for instance, with my friend, he doesn't want to have a place in my life either because he is already a part of my purpose. And I honestly don't yearn for that either. I'm not saying that you and your soulmate are not meant to be in a romantic relationship. I wouldn't know that. Only you and your partner would. So, what I want is to learn more about why I am here and what I am here to do, what I'm here to do, what I have to become aware of in order to be more evolved. What is my journey? What is part of my purpose? What is my dharma? That is what I want to focus on. And I welcome all of those people who are there to show me the way, one way or another. Those people who are here to remind me who I am in reality. So, this is also an invitation for you to check your birth chart. Understand the houses and understand your planets. Understand the placement of your birth chart. Um, it has been given to you. This is a map of your life. Hire an astrologer or someone who knows or understands a birth chart. I'm not trying to impose my beliefs on anyone, but it only makes sense to me that if the ocean is affected by the phases of the moon, why wouldn't we be affected by the phases of the moon if we are like 70-75% water? And if we are affected by the moon, why wouldn't we be affected by other planets in the solar system? We are a part of the universe and we are all interrelated and interconnected. Trees can provide water to other trees underneath the surface through their roots. The same way, we are all interconnected and interrelated, consciously or subconsciously, it doesn't matter. Collectively or not, it doesn't matter. It's happening. So we are all affected by the energetic field of other people. We are more energetic than we are physical. So the moment that we become conscious of this and what my karma is, which is what my birth chart would be there for, so I can become a little bit closer to my liberation and the ultimate happiness. Although we perfectly know that is impossible. It is impossible to live in a limited material world like 3D and find the ultimate happiness or fulfillment because we are unlimited beings. you and this is a limited world. We are spirits incarnated as humans. So we have gotten it all wrong, looking for happiness in a place that can only offer us limited happiness. We are really looking for the needle in the haystack. We are looking for the wrong things instead of realizing that all there is already exists if we become present and aware. But your soulmates are here to help you recognize this, to help you become more aware and alchemize yourself. So, whether it is a soulmate or a twin flame or predestined loves, I'm not really here to say that one is truer than the other. This is just my very personal opinion, and I don't need to step on anyone's toes. But if I was meant to have a twin flame, then why would I have such a strong connection with two other people? Also, twin flames or soulmates or predestined loves or karmic partners, whatever we want to call it, they are here to trigger us in many ways. So we can't point the finger accusing them while we play a victim. However, we also need to understand that nobody is here to make us suffer. We suffer because we do not understand, because we are not conscious enough. But once you become more conscious, we take responsibility for our own karma. Then the suffering goes away. I'm not trying to minimize anyone's pain or suffering or tears. I just want people to become more aware. And that is part of the reason that I do tarot readings. So do yourself a favor and take a good look at your birth chart. Um, One of the ways that I looked at mine is through a website called Vault of the Heavens. Um, Obviously, you need your um, birthday, place of birth, and the time of birth. It's very important to have this accurately. And when you go to the Vault of the Heavens, fill out that information and check the North Indian chart. Then check your moon, your Mercury, your ascendant. I mean, check all of that. Understand your birth chart. And if you have the means, if you have the money, obviously, then hire an astrologer to look at your birth chart. I think it is very important that we become very conscious and aware of this. A good analysis of your birth chart can change your life for the better. Trust me on this one. So, this is all for today. I really hope it helps. Share with your family and friends if they're open to receive this, obviously. And let me know what you think in the comments. So, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure that you subscribe so you do not miss on upcoming videos and also any type of tarot readings that I upload. I hope everybody is well. Best wishes on your journey, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.